Welcome to Willie African Tales. Miss this video at your own risk. See how God changes his people. Fast subscribe, like the video, comment and share to a friend. We are Willie African Tales.
In a small village in Nigeria where the sun shines bright every day and the roads are made of red dirt that gets dusty when the wind blows, there lived a kind girl named Amina who was about 8 years old at the beginning of our story. And she had a loving mother along with a little brother named Kofi who was 5 and a tiny sister named Zara who was just 3. And together they all shared a simple house built from mud bricks with a roof made of dry grass that sometimes leaked when the heavy rains came pouring down during the wet season. Their family did not have much money at all because Amina's father had passed away a long time ago when she was still a baby, leaving her mother to take care of everything all by herself, and every morning the mother would wake up very early before the birds even started singing to prepare a small breakfast of yam porridge, or sometimes just plain cassava if that was all they could afford, and the children would help by fetching water from the nearby stream that was a long walk away, carrying heavy buckets on their heads while chatting about their dreams and laughing to make the chore feel less tiring. Life was hard for them because there were days when they went to bed with empty bellies if the mother could not sell enough vegetables at the market where she had a little stall under a big mango tree, and the neighbors would sometimes share a bit of food, like ripe bananas or cooked beans to help out. But Amina and her siblings always tried to stay cheerful by playing games outside with stones and sticks, imagining they were building big castles or racing fast cars, even though they had no real toys. The mother, whose name was Mamankichi, had the biggest heart full of love for her children, and she would often sit with them in the evening under the starry sky, telling stories about brave heroes and wise animals from old Nigerian tales to make them smile and forget about the worries. And deep inside, she dreamed of sending all 3 of them to school so they could learn to read and write and count numbers, because she believed that education was like a magic key that could open doors to a better future where they would not have to struggle like she did every single day. Amina, being the oldest, noticed how tired her mother looked after coming back from the market with sore feet and a heavy heart when sales were low, and she would hug her tight, promising to help in any way she could, like sweeping the floor or washing the few clothes they owned in the stream. And even though they faced so many challenges like not having electricity, so they studied by the light of a small kerosene lamp that flickered softly, or wearing old shoes with holes that let in the rain, the family stuck together with hope in their hearts that one day things would get easier if they just kept trying. Mama Nkichi knew that if her children were ever going to have a chance at a happier life, full of books and learning and good jobs one day, she had to find a way to pay for their school fees, no matter how tough it became. So every single morning, after giving Amina, Kofi, and Zara their small bowl of whatever food they had, she would tie a colorful wrapper around her waist, put a big basket on her head filled with fresh vegetables like okra, tomatoes, peppers, and sometimes yams that she had grown in their tiny backyard farm or bought very cheaply from farmers early in the dark morning. And then she would walk many miles along the bumpy red dirt road to the big market in the nearby town, where hundreds of people came to buy and sell things under the hot sun. At the market, she would find her usual spot under the wide branches of an old mango tree that gave a little shade, spread out a mat on the ground, arrange her vegetables neatly in piles to look attractive, and then sit there from sunrise until the sun started going down again, calling out kindly to every person who passed by, saying things like, "Come and buy my fresh tomatoes, they are sweet and red today," or "Best okra for your soup, come see." But some days, many people walked past without buying because they too had little money, and other days the rain would come suddenly and make everything wet and muddy, so customers stayed away, leaving Mama Nkechi with most of her goods still unsold and her heart feeling heavy like a big stone inside her chest. When the money from selling was not enough to cover even one child's school fees for the term, she would do extra things like going to rich people's houses in the town to wash their clothes by hand or clean their big compounds, scrubbing floors until her hands became rough and sore, or sometimes she would borrow a little money from her friend who sold cloth at the market and promised to pay it back slowly with what she earned next time, always making sure to keep her word because she did not want anyone to think badly of her family. Amina saw all this hard work and felt love mixed with worry for her mother, so she started helping more by waking up even earlier to sweep the compound clean, cook simple food for her brother and sister when Mama was away, and look after Zara, who was still too small to understand why sometimes they ate only once a day, while Kofi would run errands like taking messages to neighbors or helping carry small loads to earn a few coins that he proudly gave to his big sister to add to the family's savings. One evening, after a very bad market day, when almost nothing sold because a big truck had brought cheap vegetables from far away, Mama Nkechi came home with tired eyes and empty pockets, sat down on the low stool outside their house, and put her face in her hands for a moment, thinking she might cry. But then Amina came close, wrapped her small arms around her mother's shoulders, and whispered softly that they would all keep trying together because she wanted to go to school so much that she could read big books and one day get a job to take care of everyone so Mama would never have to work so hard again. And those words made Mama Nkechi lift her head with a small smile, wipe away the worry from her face, and hug her daughter tightly while saying that God was watching over them and good things would come if they stayed patient and strong, like the brave people in the old stories she told at night. From that day on, the family worked even harder as a team, with Amina practicing her letters by writing them in the sand outside with a stick when there was no paper, Kofi collecting firewood to save money on buying it, and little Zara learning to say simple prayers for her mama and siblings, and slowly, bit by bit, Mama Nkechi managed to save just enough coins to pay the first school fees for Amina to start primary school the next term, filling everyone's heart with joy and hope that this was the beginning of something wonderful, even though the road ahead still looked long and full of challenges.